Hello everyone, this is Jeff, the Hawaiian Volcanic. Hello again, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I'll be installing some wheel ring lights that I got off of Amazon. Let's take a look and see what's inside the box and talk about the components and what we need to do to get this thing installed. Alright, so this is the kit that I got off of Amazon. The brand is called Yes Wish, or Yes Wish. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. So when you open the box, what you get is a set of instructions here. Kind of goes through the basics on how to mount the wheel rings and just basic wiring. There's a little warranty card here. You got 4 bags containing brackets to mount each wheel ring to each wheel. You got your main harness that connects to your battery. Now this harness includes a transformer, an HDI transformer, and a 30 amp fuse holder, the fuse included, and also a switch to turn it off and on. So, I'm kind of debating whether I should use this or not because my rock lights, I already have them installed. It's already got a 30 amp fuse, and the rock lights really pull very little amperage. So I might just go and install it, you know, kind of cut it in there to make it work, so I don't have to go through the pains of having to connect it to the battery again and doing that whole deal. If it doesn't work out, then I'll just go ahead and install the this wiring here that came with the kit. And of course, you've got the wheel lights here. So this is a double row. They're calling it double row. And what they mean by double row is that there's a row of lights on the outside and there's a row of lights on the inside. And what that does essentially is provide much better coverage. I do have some dead spots underneath my truck, and it's where the drive shaft is at, so there's like this shadow. And hopefully with the double row lights here, that'll wash out that shadow. And I'm just taking a look at the quality or the construction. The ring itself is aluminum, so looks very, very sturdy. So it's got 10, I think 10 feet worth of wiring lengthwise. If it doesn't, if it's too short, then we're gonna have to bust out the primary wire and then have to extend these wires, but that's not very difficult to do, as you've seen in my previous videos. So 4 of these wheel rings, we got some mounting hardware, some simple instructions. Let's talk about what else we're gonna be needing to do to get this installed. Okay, so it's a pretty straightforward installation. Something I like to always say, but you know how that goes, right? The hardest part is taking out the tire and have to take off the caliper to be able to place the wheel ring and attach it to the dust cover. So my biggest concern right now is the distance between the dust cover and the rotor. There's like less than 3/8 of an inch clearance, and I'm just worried that the head of the bolt there, or the screw, is going to contact the rotor and just totally mangle it up. So I may have to bend out that dust cover to offer a little bit more clearance to keep that from happening. So with that said, let's start mechanicking. Okay, so I got the first ring mounted on. Not without fighting with it though, I gotta tell you. Doing this the first time, I had the brackets, these brackets facing inwards to be more centered this way. But then the problem was trying to get, trying to make sure that this thing doesn't hit up against the dust cover here, or dust shield. So you can see right there, it's got some space there. I kind of push this out a little bit, bend it outwards. But I gotta say though, with the way this thing is mounted, what I'm concerned about is that this is a little flimsy. That might be a problem. But, that's as far as the dust shield goes. It starts from here, from this part of the caliper, goes all the way around and stops right here. So there's really no mounting point here to brace the wheel light there. And for the most part, I tried my best to try to get it centered. I mean, it's as good as it gets right there. And again, it's all about trial and error. I drilled a couple of holes just to make sure that I got it centered. So I had to take off the bracket and then re-drill it and then try to line up the best I could. So what I got done so far. So for just all intents and purposes here, I did this the really quick and easy way. So what I did was just grab a couple of these taps right here and tapped into the positive and into the negative supplied lines, or the primary line where I get power from. So hopefully we'll see if when I flick the switch that it'll power this up. But there's what was really surprising was that the actual leads that are in these wires here are super thin. So let me show you really quick. I just snipped this thing off. And to get this thing to focus, there you go. Look how thin that the wires are on that thing. I mean, it's like really, really thin. So it doesn't take that much power to light up these LEDs. So I don't know that I need to use that supplied harness and plug it into the batteries. So let me go and flick that switch really quick. So that's the switch right there. And it powers up just fine. So I got the rock lights and I got that all set up. So all it means is that I don't have to use that harness that came with it. Now this is just for me because I already have existing rock lights. I'm just running it in series. So yeah, this is what it looks like so far. So that'll make the installation that much quicker. It's just having to fight to get the caliper and then the rotor off, drilling the holes and lining it up. That's pretty much the hardest part up until this point. So, alrighty, let's keep mechanicking. Okay, so working on the passenger side. So what I'm doing right now is mocking this up really quick. So you can see that I drilled a hole originally, and I'm trying to get 2 inches, roughly about 2 inches from the shield to about the top of the or the bottom of the ring, the inside of the ring there, all the way around. And then I also put the caliper or the rotor back on and kind of step back to try to get close to center as possible and to have it like centered properly. So this is the challenges here, because there's really no formula for it, and it varies on make and model of your vehicle. So I'll probably end up drilling a couple more holes as I go along to make sure that I've got it all leveled and centered. So again, this is the hardest part really. The hooking up part is pretty easy. Alrighty, let's keep mechanicking. Okay, so I got it all mocked up. And now what I need to do is I need to take the caliper off, it slides right off, and then I'll pull these ring lights on, fasten down the rotor, put the caliper back on, and then slide the wheel ring over. Now the mistake that I made with the first set there, the first wheel ring, was that I assembled everything and then I was going to slide this thing over and realized, wait a minute, you know what? That's not going to work because of the brake line. You know, it needs to be behind the wheel ring, and I kind of pushed this thing out of the way, loosened everything up, and tried to force it in, and you know, I kind of nicked the protective coating on there. So next time around, you know, on this wheel here, mocking everything up, making sure it's as close to center as possible. And then I'm going to put the rotor back in place, put the set screw inside there, put the caliper back on, torque everything down, and then place the wheel ring on there, and then put the fastening bolts there, and then I'm done here. And we'll move on to the rear. Okay, so I'm starting to work on the rears now, and to my surprise, it might be a little bit easier to get the brackets set up, because look at the space right here. That's a lot of space. And that's I'm able to get the drill bit through there, you know, and fasten everything on there. I might not even have to take off the rotor. So I'm going to give it a shot. We'll do a test run first, and then hopefully this will go much smoothly, and then I can get this thing wired up and give you guys a sampling of the lights. Okay, so everything's been installed on the rear side here, and much easier. So for you Silverado owners or pickup truck owners, a lot of times your dust shield will cover almost the complete circumference of the rotor there, with the exception of the caliper there, but way more stable versus the front. I mean, the thing is pretty solid. You know, the front kind of jiggles where the caliper is, because there's really not any area to mount any brackets there, or mounting brackets. So this took, I mean, this took well over half the time. Probably took me about 20 minutes to button this one down. So yep, so we're just kind of learning as we go along. So I'll put the tire back on this one and then work on the other side and get it all patched up, wired up, and then turn them on, see what they look like. Okay, so done installing this one. This is the last wheel ring. And again, these are pretty solid, the rears, because of the dust covers are much thicker, and there's more surface, and again, it covers almost the entire rotor. So what I'm going to do now is work on wiring these wheel lights to my rock lights that are underneath here. That's one right up there. I'm going to tie in the passenger rear to this rock light, and then this one all the way down there. That's going to tie in the driver rear on that one. So a little bit earlier, I gave an example of how I was going to tap in to the wires on my rock lights using wire taps. So I mean, pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna get the wires kind of situated, positive, negative to negative, and then just use the wire tap. One of these guys right here. Got a whole pack of these. And these work pretty well. So all you gotta do is just pry this open, put the wires on either side, and then use what you do is you use a channel lock to kind of squeeze down on this metal piece here, and then you bring over this lock and it snaps into place. So okay, so everything's all buttoned down. So cleaned up the wiring with some wire loom. One of my favorite things to use. So everything's been connected with these taps, these wire taps. And again, earlier in the video, I gave an example of how I pretty much did it. And if you have existing lights, then existing rock lights running through your vehicle, your truck or your car, then you can just tap into that. All right, so got everything all squared away, and you know, I really lucked out in this installation because I already had rock lights already installed, and I kind of ran everything in series. If you guys haven't seen my rock light video install, everything was kind of connected, you know, via primary wire that ran through the entire frame, and negative as well, and just kind of run everything in series. I thought to myself, well, you know what, maybe I can get away with just running the wheel lights in series as well, and hell, it worked. So I didn't have to use that supplied harness that came with the kit. Now, just a quick a note, while I was looking at that harness that came with the kit, now there's this, that little box there, in the instructions it says it's HDI, and I assumed that it was a converter. You know, some cars need a converter in order for you to run those LED lights in your car, and upon further inspection, it was nothing more than just a relay. So I'm like, a relay? That doesn't make any sense, you know? They could have just ran a switch, just direct, you know, without having to put a relay on there. But I guess, you know, for some reason they thought that they needed to put a relay on there. You know, what do I know anyway? So, but I totally lucked out. I did a quick test to make sure that there was current running through everything, and what I'm going to do now is just back up the truck and give you guys a look-see. All right, gang, well, this wraps up another project. This is the Yes Wiss wheel lights that I got off of Amazon. These things run about $170. To be honest with you, they ain't too bad. I mean, for $170, I've seen kits like this go for about $500, $600, $800. And again, you know, you spending more doesn't necessarily mean better, but you know, in some cases, you know, it might be. These obviously are made overseas. I think these are made in China, but anymore, anything off Amazon that's not a name brand is from some other country. But for the most part, you know, I like them. I mean, they're bright enough, and they actually do add in the accent. You know, the rock lights that I have. It didn't take away the dead spot, so I guess I'm just going to have to get more of those LED Mercy pods and kind of position them so I can get that drive shaft shadow taken away. But other than that, I'm really happy with the way it turned out, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys do like the content, please like and subscribe. You know, give a thumbs up and you know, leave a comment. I have a few more things that are coming up here in the next few months or so. So yeah, appreciate you guys checking out the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hawaiian Volcanic. Aloha. You